are we so afraid? What are we afraid of? As Christians, we're not supposed to be afraid of anything. Actually, the thing that we're supposed to be looking most forward to is our day in the kingdom. It's been a fascinating time the last few years, and I think one that we really need to reflect back on about where we're going as a society, as a faith. It's been fascinating to watch my fellow Christians, and I would call myself a relatively newbie Christian in the last 5 years, that I've really amped up my study of Christianity, what it means to be a Christian, and really what it means to live a life. You know, really of faith and substance and really being all in on my faith when it comes to my suffering or what I fear and realizing what I shouldn't fear. Now, where I'm going with this is that Christians demonstrated, and even continue to demonstrate, that fear is a component of their life, and we're not supposed to be fearful. I watched something the other night that talked about a pastor who shut down the church during COVID. And when asked after the fact why, they said because they were afraid that they were going to die. That is scary. That is so troubling that this is what our faith has become, because we're not supposed to be afraid to die. I'm not afraid to die. I know a number of people, my wife, members of my family, when push comes to shove, they're not afraid to die. Now, we don't want to die. We want to live an unbelievable, full, happy life. But I can tell you, there are a number of people that are out there that are living in fear. They say that they're Christians. They say that they are very faith-based, have a strong faith foundation. I go to church. I have a faith community. I have a Bible study. I listen to K-Love. You know, whatever the things are that people say. And yet, when push comes to shove, when told that you need to be in fear, they moved like sheep. They moved like sheep across a plain, told where to go and who to follow. That just shows the component of what we're dealing with in our society today and why it's diminishing, especially the Christian faith. We still see people that are wearing masks. We still people that are trying to distance themselves from their loved ones, their friends. We see people that were told to get vaccinated and didn't really use their instincts to try to determine if this really seemed right or not. Did it really feel like this was right? A lot of us, a lot of people said, no, we're just going to let this play out. My immune system should be good. I should be just fine. If I get COVID, I will have contracted it and I will build my immune system to it. Even though it was an unknown, a lot of people did take that stance, and we were one of them. And I know I'm putting it out there right now to a lot of people who did take the vaccine, maybe even took multiple vaccines, continue to get boosters. And that doesn't mean that things will end, horrifically in any particular way. It's just you need to be cognizant of it, to the fact that we need to do some things to reverse if you have effects of some kind. The best way possible. But really, I think the best way possible is through our faith. Don't be afraid. We had a number of people within our own Catholic faith that said we shouldn't be getting together as a church. We needed to be distanced to save ourselves. We shouldn't take the body and blood of Christ. That could be contaminated, and it could contaminate our fellow parishioners. Why that was a component of what we needed to be built even stronger. Why that was a component of why we needed to come together to be stronger. And yet it told people, no, we shouldn't be doing that. It's not safe. My God, we could die. That is something that's very troubling, and it's something that's in our society today, and we have got to get our arms around. You know, the great deceiver, Satan, the accuser, this is exactly what he wants, and we need to be aware of it. There is satanic forces working in this world, and those satanic forces want to water down our faith, and they want to water down what has always foundationally been strong and traditional. And I think we need to understand that so that we know exactly what we're dealing with and then how to battle it. Because these forces are not going to stop. In fact, they've gotten stronger. If you look at just today, the rampant changes in our society of what's considered normalizing to our society, that is so off. Transitions, transgenderism, transitions in surgery, that we would be willing to deform somebody's body just because somebody or something is telling them they're not what they truly are. God created you, but you're not what God intended, so you need to change it yourself. Really, it's like we've talked about, is sacrificing at the altar of self. Boy, we got to understand that. Of course, you know, lifestyle, normalizing of sinful lifestyles. The gay lifestyle, it's not normal. Many people will tell you that it is. It's just something you were born with and we should accept, and it's not. It's a way to actually drive our society apart. Drive out marriage, which we're seeing. Drive out family. Diminish families having multiple children. Marriages not having any children at all. Drug use. Pornography. Pedophilia. Oh my God, the things that they're doing to children, or want to do to children, is purely satanic. So where does this all come from? It comes from our lack of faith, because we're not built strong for faith. Because if we're not faithfully strong, then we start to move towards these other things as our new religion. And we've got to be aware of that. I know I've touched a little bit on some of this stuff in the past. I'll definitely continue to touch on these things in the future, because if I don't say it, who will? There are a number of voices out there that are talking, and there are a number that are also putting them out there for people to consider. And I hope that if you hear this video, that you will definitely start to realize some self-realization of what exactly it is that we're dealing with, and ultimately how we can battle it. Because this is not our world. This is not our kingdom. It's the devil's. Our kingdom is up there. And ultimately, that's where we want to get to. And we want to get as many people to that place as well. That is what we should be most focused on. But while we're here, we cannot give in to temptation, and we cannot give in to sin. We cannot worship at the altar of self. Because when we do, we'll see things happen exactly how they've been playing out over the last 4 years. I have great confidence that pendulums are swinging. The church is actually, perhaps it's imploding in size and scope, but it's not going to go the way of like a black hole. It's actually imploding to concentrate. And it's actually getting stronger and more concentrated, and will become more powerful. Not a doubt in my mind. And that's exactly what Satan does not want. And he will do everything he can to keep that from happening. Just be aware. So let's go on this journey together. Let's continue down this path. Great hope. We definitely know the way. We definitely know the truth. And we definitely want to live for God. In Jesus Christ's name, with the Holy Spirit enveloping all of us. Peace be with you.